I want to talk to you about two strategies that I developed for my aromatase inhibitor. Remember, I'm always looking for solutions, I'm always looking for connections, I'm always looking for strategies. So these are two things I did. I take an aromatase inhibitor and it removes any kind of hormone that's left in your body, even though I don't take hormones anymore. Um, it's kind of like an anti-hormone pill, but it makes your bones hurt like crazy. In fact, the research from Canada says that it can impact your bone density. It can maybe lead to fractures in your bones. In addition, it makes your muscles hurt, makes your teeth hurt. And so when I complained to my physician that this aromatase inhibitor was just miserable, she just said, well, 1 year down, 4 to go. And in my mind, I thought, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. I want a quality of life. So anyway, let me tell you what I did. As soon as I started taking the aromatase inhibitor, I looked in the mirror and I could just see myself aging just rapidly because it deals with your endocrine system, it deals with your fat, it deals with all your hormones. It really is pretty extensive, I think, much more than they tell you. So I did two things. First, I went to a cosmetic physician. And I said, she said, what do you want? I said, although I'm very careful, and if you listen to my other series, I've been careful to remove all kind of environmental toxins and control my diet and everything. But anyway, I took a chance, and I said, I don't like what this aromatase inhibitor is doing to me. I want Botox. I never tried it before, but I said, and she looked at me, I said, I don't want to be a babe, in Baywatch, I don't need to be a babe running on the beach in California. But I also don't want to look like I'm 80 years old. So I said, I want to try a little bit of Botox. And in addition, I want to try a few fillers. So where my face was sinking or my lips or mouth, I said, every time the aromatase inhibitor tears me down, I'm going to come to you and I want you to build me up. So for every action, there's a reaction. If I feel ugly, I want to feel a little bit prettier. So that's what I did. Never done it before. I might never do it again, but it made me feel good. And she was real conservative. Just did a little bit. It's probably time to do some more now. But that's one step I took that was very atypical. Went away from all the traditional oncology physicians, and I really am glad I did it. So it made me feel good. I would recommend it. The second thing is the aromatase inhibitor in my body. Your bones just hurt. I mean, they just hurt. And remember, in another clip, I talked about the chemotherapy went right to my knees. My knees were getting older anyway from genetics and so forth, but the chemotherapy really tore the cartilage in my knees up. In addition, I was starting to have mobility issues, which really concerned me because I knew in order to stay healthy, I needed to be active. And you can't be active if you don't have your knees, or you can't be as active. So I went to a physician and had my knees x-rayed and looked at the extent of the cartilage. And he automatically gave me 2 injections, one in each knee, of prednisone. Well, I happened to be allergic to prednisone and the steroids, so those 2 injections in my knees pretty well knocked out what cartilage was left in my knees. So I was going around with bone on bone. So the aromatase inhibitor really started to scare me because I thought if I take this 4 more years, and it messes with my bone density and maybe causes fractures, then I'm going to be in a wheelchair. I'm not going to be mobile. And in order to be strong for the ovarian and peritoneal and breast and whatever cancers, I gotta keep my health. So I calculated that I wanted to have full total knee replacement. I went to a different facility, and they, of course, made everybody have the labs and go through all the blood tests and everything so that I was strong enough to withstand the surgery. And my primary care physician told them all about my history, which I wish she wouldn't have. I wish she would have just done the labs and sent them over, but they didn't. They had full disclosure of my past, my history, everything. But my blood work was good enough that I was allowed to have total knee replacement surgery. And in preparation for that, I had a recumbent bike. and I started doing all the exercises that they have you do for your knee. And I'd heard that if you do the exercises, you can be back on your feet in a week or 2 or 3, not months and months. So I did them, and every night, faithfully, I got up to 20 miles a night on the bike, and on weekends I'd do 30 or 40 miles. And I loved the bike, I loved being strong, I loved being healthy, but secretly I was scared to death. So 3 weeks ago, I had the right knee totally replaced. I didn't do both at the same time because I was a little afraid of that. And sure enough, I'm up, walking around, no problem. I came through the surgery relatively easily. Here's the right knee, the part that's in it. And I worked with a group that work with the athletes. So I asked to get a knee like they'd give the professional football team. I also asked to get a little knee because I didn't want a great big man's knee. I wanted a little knee, like a feminine woman. And they just laughed at me. But anyway, so when I woke up and I stood on my knee in the last couple of weeks, I'm out and around with a little walking stick, not a cane. It's a stick from REI. It's a walking stick. And I'm in preparation now to go for the second total knee replacement when everybody decides that my body can withstand it and I'm strong enough, and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm in PT and preparing. Now, what happened? I made a calculated decision that if I needed to keep my strength, the best way to be strong is to have your knees and have mobility. If your knees go down, those are the largest joints in your body, then you can't be active. I need to be active in order to fight this, whatever's going to happen in my future. So I already have one knee that's stronger than the original knee. It's taken over. It feels like I'm standing on a fence post. It's so strong, it's so straight, and so ready. I'm also a lot stronger because I did 20 miles, 40 miles in preparation. And so again, why did I do all this? Because I was taking an aromatase inhibitor. Secretly, I just told my physical therapist this week when I went to sleep, I was so fearful that when the surgeon went in with the saw, that the aromatase inhibitor might have done such damage to my bones that they would just go puff, like a powder puff, and my bone would just dissolve into powder. Or minimally, when he went to saw the bones, maybe there'd be a fracture. But luckily, when I woke up, no problem, no effect. And again, in preparation and thinking about this connection, everything worked. My cosmetic surgeon happened to write me and say, I could have some more procedure at a discount. It was about time if I needed to. And I told her, I said, I can't right now. I'm having my knees replaced. This was the first time that a doctor wrote, oh my God, that's so wonderful. When you do that, you're going to have a new life. And the other thing that was so great is doctors they kind of stay in their area of expertise. Because I had worked with the cosmetic surgeon, there's a little drug, little herb, little medication called arnica. And I knew from working with her to take that to minimize bruising. So before I went into the surgery, and as I prepared, because you have to stop all your supplements and herbs and vitamins and everything, and they're really, really careful about infection control because of this external device that they put in your body. It's much more preparation than the surgery, the debulking that I had from my peritoneal cancer. But anyway, I've been taking this arnica regularly that I learned about through the cosmetic practices. And sure enough, I have virtually no bruising on my knee or on my leg, which is just unheard of. So again, making those connections, putting things together, getting out of the silos, making the choice, it worked. And people were so fearful. The women at Starbucks, are you sure? Can you withstand it? Oh, that's such an extensive surgery. It's the best thing I ever did. Because I calculated if I need my legs and I need my health and I need my strength in the future, right now in this little window when my scans are not showing anything and my labs aren't showing anything, the cancer's kind of sleeping, I needed to make a decision to prepare for a future, to be as strong as possible in that future should I need it. So that's what I would say. What did I do with the aromatase inhibitors? I did cosmetic surgery to counter the effects, to get to just the right sweet spot. I'm not trying to be a babe, but I'm not trying to look 80 yet. And I'm having 2 total knee replacements in a sports medicine complex that deals with the sports team in the Los Angeles area. So the last thing that I said when I went to sleep, I said, leave all my ligaments, just like you would with the football players. And I've been teasing them that I should be able to hike the football when I get out there. I plan to stand up paddleboard this summer. I plan to hike. I'm pressing them to let me do the left knee as soon as possible, because it'll be rough, a few weeks with the rehabilitation, but then I'll be ready for the summer and ready for my future and whatever's happening. So those are some choices I make. And as I said, as I continue to listen to these speakers and pursue websites and read, I want to start sharing some things with you. It's all free. You can listen, think about it. I'm not a medical doctor, but if it helps you, do it. If it helps you think about, I did the cosmetic and I did the knee surgery, but what in your life would make you feel really, really good about yourself? Maybe it's a trip. Maybe it's seeing your grandkids or children. Maybe it's some kind of special event that you've always wanted to do. Do it. All right. We'll meet again.